Good morning, everyone. I'm Nancy Seligson. I'm the former supervisor of the town of Mamaroneck and the past co-chair of Sustainable Westchester. I had the pleasure to serve on the board of Sustainable Westchester for 6 years and the honor to serve as co-chair with Laura Rossi for the past 4 years. I'm proud of the wonderful programs and progress of Sustainable Westchester, and I want to thank the great staff led by Nina Orville for their work. We have board term limits at Sustainable Westchester, so I'm now rotating off the board, which makes it my great pleasure to introduce the new co-chairs of the Sustainable Westchester board, Sara Goddard and Jim Kuster. Both Sara and Jim have been engaged and excellent board members. Sara's been the chair of the Finance Committee, and Jim has been a critical member of that committee, as well as a critical member of the Executive Director Search Committee. And I want to thank them so much for stepping up and becoming the co-chairs. Both Laura and I are thrilled to see them take on this position. So welcome to Sara and Jim, and take it away, guys.
Well, thank you, Nancy. It's really a pleasure to have you open this meeting, and we will miss you. I really want to take the opportunity to express a deep level of thanks to you and Laura. It's really been through your inspiring leadership through turbulent times that Sustainable Westchester is really in a much stronger position than when you took on these roles 6 years ago. It's hard to believe it has gone that fast, but really we're in great shape now. Sara and I are particularly grateful for the strength you've instilled in the organization and for providing us with such an easy transition into our new roles. So thank you for that. I also want to thank departing board members Noam Bramson, Tom Roach, and Mike Spano, all who've made significant contributions to Sustainable Westchester over the many years that they've served concurrently with Laura and Nancy. And Nancy, we know, will be leaving the board, as she said. We do have the benefit of Laura staying on for 1 more year. So Sara and I really look forward to benefiting from her vast experience. So now what I'd like to do is just hand it over to Sara to provide some highlights from last year, and we'll take the meeting forward from there. Sara?
Thank you, Jim, and thank you, Nancy. I echo Jim's heartfelt thanks to our departing chairs and board members for their many contributions and years of service on the board. But welcome to everybody. I want to say that I'm thrilled that Jim will be serving as co-chair with me, and we're excited to introduce shortly the outstanding slate of new board members who will join an already impressive roster of directors. Despite the global challenges of the last year, Sustainable Westchester has pushed through the turbulence of the pandemic with flying colors. In a few minutes, our capable staff will touch on program highlights of the last year. But for those of you who are new to the members meeting, you may be asking, what can Sustainable Westchester do for my town? That's an excellent question. And should you visit the organization's website, which I encourage you all to do, and read the About Us blurb, you'll see that it states we're a nonprofit consortium of county local governments that facilitates effective collaboration on sustainability initiatives. The important thing to know is that as a member of Sustainable Westchester, your community is part of a group of 45 local governments, including the county government. In this way, the organization acts as a repository and clearinghouse for these governments. But more importantly, we offer a forum in which to collaborate, share best practices, promote environmental equity, and coalesce on sustainability issues and initiatives for the betterment of our villages, towns, and cities. In short, this organization was created for your community and its residents to advance sustainability progress across the county. The second part of the About Us blurb relates to the organizational goals of bringing economically viable solutions that create resilient and sustainable communities. To that end, we've grown our programming with a focus on environmental equity and justice, and despite the pandemic, increased the membership of our flagship community choice aggregation program to now cover over half of the county's population, including every large urban center along with municipalities, large and small, up and down county. A unifying program that gives residents clean energy choice and freedom and aligns with New York State's climate action goals. We've also expanded Community Solar's reach with over 30 participating communities and many new projects underway. The organization's activities also extend beyond legislative bodies to focus on outreach and education with residents and local groups. You'll hear highlights shortly about the organization's community-based efforts, from sustainable landscaping programs to partnering with local groups on events and initiatives. We recognize that there is always room for improvement and expansion. While our programs have grown, so too has our board, which now comprises an incredible roster of leaders who provide representation from every geographic corner of the county. Remember, though, that this organization is made better through intermunicipal collaboration and connection. That's where you come in. Visit the website, sign up for the newsletters, follow the various social media pages, or if you have an idea for collaboration, contact our executive director, Nina Orville, or one of us on the board, whom you'll most likely recognize as one of your fellow residents or neighbors. The bottom line, engage with us so we can grow and advance this organization and its sustainability and climate action goals together. Jim Kuster will now give you an overview of what to expect in the years ahead. Thank you.
Looking forward for the year ahead, I really first want to say that we're so fortunate to have such a high caliber staff at Sustainable Westchester. We really benefit from their experience and their commitment, and also the stellar leadership of Nina Orville, now in her second year as executive director. We're really grateful to all of them. And looking forward to 2022, we know that the contribution made by the staff and Nina and her leadership will put us in even better place by the end of this year. Our primary focus is going to continue to be on providing a broad range of benefits to our municipal members. As Sara outlined, these programs have longevity and do align particularly well with the CLCPA. What we're trying to do is provide programs that help municipalities make progress towards the goals outlined in the CLCPA, like sourcing energy from places where we can reduce carbon emissions towards the targets that were outlined in the CLCPA, lowering long-term energy costs, lowering price volatility, providing access to revenue in the form of grants that can be deployed locally, providing access to public and private sector partnerships. These are the types of things that would be hard for member municipalities to do on their own. So Sustainable Westchester is ideally suited as a broad umbrella organization to get grant revenue, to organize partnerships and benefit municipalities. We're definitely designing programs to achieve climate justice provisions that are in the CLCPA, and that is a continued very important focus for our organization. And we're continuing to connect residents with educational resources. Underlying all of that, we want Sustainable Westchester to be managed fiscally responsibly with a sensible budget that responds to economic challenges we're going through clearly, but we know we're well suited to do that. So looking out at the year ahead, we are optimistic about the progress we're going to be able to make and the benefit we're going to be able to give to our members. Right now, what I'd like to do is one of the business items of this meeting. It'll be helpful for you to use the chat. We want to vote for the slate of new board members and to renew the terms of some existing board members who are rolling through their term into their next terms. So what I'm going to do is just briefly outline. You've received information on the new board members, but I'm going to briefly outline who they are and mention who the renewing board members are, and then we'll move to a vote from there. We've added to the board over the course of this past year. Really very happy about the state of the board now and the robust amount of experience represented here. In alphabetical order, Jason Baker has joined. He's the Director of Sustainability and the Director of Communications for the City of Yonkers. Mohit Chandra, Management Consultant with Strategic and Environmental Focus. Julie Chang, Division VP and Northeast Operations Manager for Jacobs Engineering. Joan Granjanois Thomas, who's District Director for U.S. House Rep Mondaire Jones and Trustee of the Village of Portchester. Ken Jenkins, Westchester Deputy County Executive. Sara Kay, City Council Member of New Rochelle. Sean Patterson Howard, the Mayor of Mount Vernon. Sue Fern Tan, Advisor to U.S. Green Building Council and other environmental organizations. Vanilla Yadhadi, a Clean Energy Advisor, Services Manager for the New York Power Authority. Those are our new members. And then the three members who are renewing their terms: Dana Levenberg, Supervisor of the Town of Ossining; Warren Lucas, Supervisor of the Town of North Salem, and Warren is our Treasurer, and June Wallach, Marketing Consultant. So that is the slate for board members. What we'd like to do is move to a vote. If you could, voting members, if you could put yay or nay in the chat. Your name will appear as you put your name, as you place your vote, but if you could at least say yay or nay to approving the board. But first I want to ask for a motion.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Warren.
Second.
And a second?
Second.
Great, thank you. So we have the motion before the floor. Now, if you will, all voting members would go to the chat and vote yay or nay, we can proceed with the vote.
All right, we have 15 now already.
That's great. Thank you, everyone. We're really excited about this group, and we're all looking forward to working together and keeping you well informed on the progress of Sustainable Westchester through the year. So with that, I think we can move to the financial presentation.
Thank you so much, Jim, and thank you to the members for voting in this new slate and returning board members. I'd like to now introduce our new treasurer, Warren Lucas, who will be presenting the financials snapshot.
Well, thank you so much, Sarah. Very much appreciated. My name is Warren Lucas. I'm the supervisor of the town of North Salem. And I first wanted to reach out. We have a great team at Sustainable Westchester, but I just wanted to reach out to Tony Licatesi, who's the finance person. I've been down visiting with her, and she's pretty phenomenal. And I'm sure everything we do is just in perfect shape. What I want to do is talk a little bit about 2020. As you know, we're currently doing the audit for 2021, and those financials won't be out for a number of months, as well as the 990. So we're kind of always looking at a year behind. Since our last meeting, we've completed the audit for 2020, and we filed our IRS 990 form. The 2020 form, the 990, is posted on our website. And after this meeting, we'll also have minutes of everything that occurred here on the website. What's on the screen right now is our 2020 finance results. And if you take a look, the overview of the organization, it shows that we had a total revenue of $2,281,000, and we had expenses of $2,042,000. If I go back and just take a look at the top numbers there, the program revenues, we had several major programs. I'll just cover them individually. All of them were profitable in 2020. Westchester Power, which is our CCA program, total revenue of about $900,000, just over. Community Solar, just under $800,000. And Energy Smart Homes would be the next one, just over about $167,000. And the other programs make up components of the $2 million. Everybody is probably familiar with membership revenue. That's money that we get $1,000 each from our member municipalities. The grant revenue of $143,000, that was the PPP program. And interest income, I think you understand, other income is simply the donated services. So all in all, we ended the year ahead with cash We started the year at $695,000. We ended at $934,000, which is a positive asset, which is obviously very, very good. So what we will be seeing, as I said before, is the 2021 audit should be finished. PKF O'Connor Davies is our auditor. Just to briefly read something from the management letter, if I can. And I had it right here, and I put a page right over it. But what they found is basically nothing of any importance. And I do apologize, but I covered it up with something. So I think I'm done. And if I could maybe pass it back to Nina Orville, our executive director.
Thank you so much, Warren.
You're welcome.
So last year's members meeting marked my first day as executive director here at Sustainable Westchester. I want to thank the board and outgoing chairs, Laura Rossi and Nancy Seligson, for your truly invaluable support during a remarkably eventful year. New York continues to lead the nation on climate response, and Westchester leads the state on climate innovation and action. Sustainable Westchester, thanks to our partnership with our 45 municipal members, has been a critical element in that success. The model that we've forged together with our track record of impact is relevant across New York State and the country as governments at every level grapple with how to address the challenges of climate change. We're committed to continued partnership with our municipalities to achieve the state's ambitious climate and equity targets here in Westchester County. Our goal is to create thriving, resilient, healthy, and sustainable communities across the diverse mosaic of Westchester. To do this, we offer new resources, solutions, and collaborative support to our member municipalities, who then demonstrate the power of local commitment and action. Our role as trusted advisor and partner with elected officials, municipal staff, environmental committees, and advocates results in wider and quicker adoption of recommended policies and programs, along with deeper community engagement. Examples of the scope and impact of this approach include our Westchester Power Program, the first of its kind in New York State, that delivers electricity, predominantly renewable, to close to 150,000 households and businesses in 29 municipalities. The Westchester Community Solar Partnership is our collaboration with New York Power Authority in Westchester County. It's a first in the state solar aggregation model that will serve municipalities and school districts. We can also point to our support for municipalities under New York's Clean Energy Communities program. And in fact, 6 Westchester municipalities are ranked in the top 10 across the state. This performance, facilitated by many of our turnkey programs, has afforded significant grant awards, over $200,000 each for some municipalities. In addition to supporting our member municipalities, we also use our expertise and relationships to deliver benefits to many nonprofits who provide critical services to their communities. Our knowledge of technology, business practices, environmental policies, and funding opportunities allow us to serve local nonprofits in a unique way. And we view this as an important part of our work. Examples of this include enrolling municipal housing authorities, affordable housing providers, and community development organizations in community solar to provide them with guaranteed savings on their electricity bills. Supporting Groundwork Hudson Valley in their first ever grant from NYSERDA to fund their youth green team. Assisting the Children's Village secure funding to evaluate the creation of a campus-wide clean heating and cooling system. We also use our expertise to vet clean energy and sustainability service providers to bring new innovations and opportunities to the county. Our scale and reach in Westchester makes us an important partner and allows us to bring solutions to our communities at scale. These include grid rewards. New York's first residential demand response program pays participants to reduce their electricity usage when the grid is under stress and operating the most polluting power plants. We've also partnered with leaders in electric landscape care, bringing those services to Westchester municipalities. We have a particular focus on delivering benefits to environmental justice areas and low-income residents of the county. This is critically important in New York State, where low-income residents spend almost 13% of their income on energy, compared to just 2.4% for residents who are not low income. While I already mentioned some examples of this work, others include working to add community solar savings to our Westchester Power program, with a special focus on serving low-income residents. Promoting income-eligible energy efficiency programs, including some that provide up to $10,000 in energy improvements at no cost. Developing an electric on-demand public transit pilot to better serve transit-dependent Peekskill residents in partnership with Westchester County and Clean Transportation Company, VIA. To further bolster this work, we've hired an environmental justice associate with support from NYSERDA. In short, we leverage resources to maximize benefits for our participating municipalities and their communities through programs that mitigate climate change and improve quality of life. We do this by creating innovative new solutions, partnering with pioneers in the clean energy field, and helping our municipalities and their communities adopt solutions that benefit them. Despite all this success, we face some significant challenges. State policies and regulations related to climate and sustainability are changing with extraordinary velocity. Given our municipal relationships and our experience with program design and implementation, we have an important role we should play in informing policy during its development. We have a goal to increase our policy-focused capacity. This is going to require developing new sources of revenue, including foundation funding, individual giving, and corporate sponsorship. To help achieve our critical climate goals, we need to leverage Sustainable Westchester's superpower. That's the ability to mobilize collective action across the county. This is rooted in the strength of our relationships with our municipal members and across our networks. We need to continue to innovate, provide choice, and remain committed and resilient. Those characteristics are all in our organizational DNA. And together with our uniquely talented board, staff, municipalities, and their communities, we've demonstrated how progress can be amplified when we work together. I'm now going to turn it over to Maria Genovesi, our Director of Marketing, Communications, and Outreach, who will share a brief video showcasing municipal engagement with our programs.
Thank you so much, Nina, and welcome everyone again. As Nina said, and as has Jim and Sara and Nancy before them, that our success and our impact is actually in large part due to all of our communities coming together behind a shared goal and the commitment of our municipalities. And this brief video actually celebrates just that. So Clara Kokoska is going to share the video now for us. So without further ado, I'm going to turn this over to Dan Welsh, the Program Director for Westchester Power Community Energy Program, and he'll take it away and begin the presentations.
Thanks, Maria. In 2015, Sustainable Westchester brought change to New York. After 2 years of working the regulatory processes, we obtained approval for Westchester Power, the first community choice aggregation in New York State. The 20 municipalities that stepped up to launch the program became active rather than passive participants in this part of the energy market. And with this, executed a historically large purchase of renewable energy that was delivered to residents and small businesses at competitive fixed rates. Taking a second to back into the basics, remember that the program is for electricity supply, which is essentially a matter of deciding who will inject energy into the grid on your behalf. Delivery, the other key piece, includes all of the infrastructure needed to get the electricity to the consumer. That remains with Con Edison and NYSEG. Westchester Power leverages our collective purchasing power to provide a new electricity supply option, pushing the electricity market for products and pricing through a managed municipal contract. The opt-out structure of the program changes the default supply option from the utility, Con Ed or NYSEG, to the community selected supply. Customers retain all of the options they had, and now one more besides. Regulations governing this program mandate that significant outreach be undertaken. But for us, it's more than compliance. It lays the groundwork for introducing the other program opportunities that may benefit them and which are necessary if we are to address our carbon emissions. Our renewable supply pricing held roughly even with the non-renewable utility supply in 2021. This winter, utility rates have spiked, making it likely that Westchester Power fixed rates will provide significant value to participating communities. 2021 saw Tuckahoe join at the beginning of the year, and at the under end of the municipal size spectrum, Yonkers at the end of the year. Both of these were exciting developments. The launch in Yonkers as New York's third largest city has statewide impact. We've enjoyed rich engagements with about 20 local organizations in this big, diverse city, nonprofits, HOAs, and of course the city staff, and look forward to continuing to partner to help realize Yonkers' green city vision and quality of life improvements. In the north of the county, the rapid rise of electricity prices during our NYSEG bidding process caused a delay in the contract renewal. Things are back on track now, and the residential and small business participants will start again with program supply in March. Our NYSEG municipalities have shown that they remain committed to the clean energy transition, and we are ready as always to help facilitate that work and build on the accomplishments to date. Come May 1st, we will celebrate our 6th year of Westchester Power. The program is mature and proven, and we're ready to step to the next rung in its evolution. The Con Edison contract for municipalities other than Yonkers ends June 30th, and we're planning an updated approach for this bid. We're working now on a structure which will expand our supplier pool by tapping into the wholesale market for energy, which comprises the largest part of the price. We anticipate being able to run an auction where we can compare full retail offers with one constructed of wholesale bids plus ESCO services. While this approach will mirror our current municipal contracts functionally, that is, purchasing from an ESCO, it'll be the critical next step in realizing the full promise of CCA. It will allow us to provide diverse products like time of use rates and leverage our purchasing volume in more impactful ways. Ultimately, we envision the development of a new structure and strategies that could open up the possibility of creating revolving energy efficiency funds or facilitating solar, battery, and other products. It can allow us to explore creative structures, say, building community ownership stakes through equity flips. Of course, our core goal is still greening the Westchester Power grid. And this more granular control is probably the only way to get to 100% renewable. We'll be reaching out to Con Ed municipalities participating in the program to discuss the next steps for contract extension and/or renewal. So 2022 will be a very active year, including the planned integration of opt-out community solar, which the solar team will discuss. We expect it also to be one which will set the stage for the next exciting transition, and you'll be hearing from us with each milestone. Now I'll turn it over to Claire Kokoska, Manager of Solar Programs, to discuss our existing community solar program.
Thanks so much, Dan. Solar energy is an important piece of the energy landscape, generating power where it's consumed, particularly important in Westchester. New constructs, including community solar, remote crediting, and more, allow benefits to flow to multiple parties while the energy produced helps green the grid. Among 2021 highlights, we want to congratulate the 12 municipalities to date who have enrolled as anchor subscribers in our community solar program for thousands of dollars in annual savings and a huge collective environmental benefit. In addition, we want to recognize 13 clean energy community municipalities who have completed community solar campaigns and will earn a collective $95,000 in NYSERDA grant funding for local clean energy initiatives. Well done. Through the end of 2021, in close collaboration with our municipalities, we enrolled 2,200 residents and organizations in 30+ community solar projects. The estimated annual community solar savings for subscribers is almost $1 million. By working with local affordable housing agencies and advocates, we were able to enroll low to moderate income households as subscribers in community solar projects, such as the Mamaroneck Hummocks Ice Rink Solar Project. We continue to collaborate with local nonprofit partners, both on securing grants and implementing innovative programs. For example, we supported Groundwork Hudson Valley in Yonkers in obtaining funds for community solar training for their green team of local high school students. In 2021, we helped launch a new program, the Westchester Community Solar Partnership, with the New York Power Authority and with Westchester County to work with 3 selected solar developers to build community solar projects on municipal or school district facilities. So far, we've identified 30 such sites for rooftop and parking canopy installations located in 8 cities, towns, and villages, and 4 school districts. That number will only grow as the Power Authority Partnership Program is officially announced this spring. Interested member municipalities and their school districts should contact us to explore this opportunity. Now, to share more about the future of our solar program offerings, I will turn it over to my colleague, Carmen Santos, Manager of Solar Programs.
Thank you, Claire. Throughout 2021, we worked on developing an exciting new offering for the Westchester Power Program, a solar credit offering. This offering will provide guaranteed savings to participants on their electricity bills. To date, we have identified over 50,000 low to moderate income households that would be prioritized as the first enrollees. We work closely with the PACE Energy and Climate Center to prepare the documentation needed for submission to the Public Service Commission. We submitted our master implementation plan for the offering in August 2021 for approval. However, in the closing weeks of 2021, the Commission issued a pause on approval for all opt-out solar credit plans, including ours. This pause has a serious and harmful impact on our ability to proceed. We have asked the Commission to allow us to implement a pilot immediately for the solar credit offering. Without that, we will face a very significant delay in delivering savings to low to moderate income households. Once we get approval to proceed, it will take about a year to fully implement our solar credit offering. In 2022, the first step for each municipality participating in Westchester Power will be amending its local community choice aggregation law to add the second offering. Contact us if you would like an advanced copy of this draft legislation. In addition, we are exploring new potential services that can bring value to both solar developers and you, our member municipalities. We look forward to working with you on identifying more effective local permitting and approval processes and sites with great clean energy potential. We're actively looking at opportunities to integrate solar projects, outdoor energy storage facilities, and electric vehicle charging stations. We continue to cultivate good working relationships with NYSERDA, the Public Service Commission, and the solar development community to make sure we and all of our member municipalities have a seat at the renewable energy policy table. For example, New York State is creating a plan to dramatically increase solar development by 2030. We are preparing a response to this proposed solar roadmap with policy recommendations to best serve our municipalities. We will continue to navigate the ever-changing solar policy landscape to benefit all of our communities. Next, we'll turn to our Director of Energy Smart Homes, Lauren Bryce.
Thanks, Carmen, and hello, everyone. Sorry for not being on camera today. I'm just a little under the weather, but I just want to say how excited I am about Sustainable Westchester's efforts to increase renewable energy supply to our electricity grid because our homes and buildings need it to become climate friendly for their heating and their cooling. In 2019, the building sector was the largest source of greenhouse gas emissions, responsible for 32% of all the emissions in New York State. Now, it's our Energy Smart Homes program that's part of the solution towards reaching New York State's ambitious goals to achieve 2 million climate-friendly homes by 2030. So to participate in accelerating the decarbonization of our energy system, homeowners can consider phasing out their outdated furnaces, dirty heaters, and clunky window air conditioners, and instead replacing them with clean heating and cooling technologies such as air source heat pumps, geothermal heat pumps, heat pump hot water heaters, and upgraded insulation. Energy Smart Home connects homeowners and income qualified renters to access NYSERDA and utility programs. We offer a list of 14 installer partners, a webinar series, homeowner success stories, and assistance with both NYSERDA rebates and utility incentives to act as a resource for homeowners. In 2021, we launched our community campaigns funded via our NYSERDA grant in 3 of the river towns, including Sleepy Hollow, Tarrytown, and Irvington. And it's through this partnership with the local sustainability committees, municipalities, and volunteers that our community campaigns can really elevate the clean heating and cooling message to bring additional resources and pull together community advocates to unite around this idea of reducing carbon emissions in our homes. These 3 villages have also waived the permitting fees for the installation of heat pump technologies until June 2022. In this past year of 2021, we have helped over 48 homes upgrade to clean heating and cooling technologies, and we couldn't have done that without the great work of our partner contractors, and a huge thank you to our volunteers, interns, and also municipal staff and homeowners who provided their case studies and video testimonials. In 2022, we will be continuing our work providing Energy Smart Home support to Westchester County residents, and we'll also be doing mini Energy Smart Home campaigns for Clean Energy Communities points. We'll be doing these campaigns in White Plains, Greenberg, Ardsley, and Pleasantville. And if your municipality is interested in joining up, please reach out to me. There's definitely still time to join in on that. And we hope to update you all soon with more information about how Sustainable Westchester will act as a regional clean energy resource thanks to recent grant submissions. Next program we're going to be talking about is grid rewards. So even with the focus of our energy becoming greener, we still have to consider peak times when there's the most stress on the energy grid and what we can collectively do to reduce that energy demand at key times. So in partnership with Logical Building, Sustainable Westchester promotes grid rewards, the first residential demand response program on the East Coast. The Grid Rewards program is an essential part of our strategy to bring savings to the county residents and at the same time reduce the demand on peaker plants that generate harmful emissions, particularly in disadvantaged communities. In 2021, Sustainable Westchester signed up 2,000 accounts, and I'm sure many of the people on this call are participants in the Grid Rewards program themselves. And the average person or the average Grid Rewards user earned $68 for each subscriber. So very great. In 2022, we are including a Refer a Friend program, and we want to sign up as many folks to participate in Grid Rewards this year as possible. If you're not already promoting the program to your residents, please be in touch with me. We've got lots of resources, easily shareable information, and would love to collaborate on Grid Rewards with you. Next up is Rachel Carpatella. She is our Director of Commercial Clean Heating and Cooling. Thank you.
Thanks, Lauren. Commercial clean heating and cooling is a first of its kind solution in New York State, supported by NYSERDA. We facilitate the decarbonization of commercial and multifamily buildings, replacing on-site combustion of fossil fuels with carbon neutral ready technologies similar to those outlined by Lauren, but with scaled up design for tens of thousands of square feet in a single property. We work with you to connect developers with resources to shape new construction plans that align with climate goals. We support property managers to electrify existing buildings and bring them into the 21st century. There are no building limitations. Any commercial building is a candidate, from multifamily to healthcare, houses of worship, and beyond. This is the green building opportunity of a generation. Our solution aims to transform the heating and cooling marketplace by engaging and connecting key stakeholders. In 2021, thanks to the partnership of municipal and industry leaders, relationships were built and resources grew, which helps us to better serve and connect our municipalities to solution providers and funding opportunities. We helped the Children's Village secure $100,000 in NYSERDA funding to evaluate the feasibility of a community heat pump system and workforce development program for underserved individuals. This collaboration goes beyond technology and into the realm of community development, as it could result in the clean energy and workforce demonstration. In partnership with the Westchester County Association, we brought NYSERDA's geo-eligibility tool to engineers and construction professionals who design the buildings we live, work, and play in. We then provided a seat at the table and elevated the conversation through an education series that included our podcast, Conversations in Clean Energy, New York Stretch Summit, and roundtable discussions. The communities of the future are being built today, and by learning about, adopting, and teaching your peers about New York Stretch Code, our members are leading the way. All will result in more energy efficient and healthier buildings in our communities. Now, in 2022, in addition to continuing all we did in 2021, we're going to help our municipalities connect to new available resources, such as Block Power's building electrification solution for disadvantaged communities, NYSERDA's $225,000 funding opportunity for third-party support for code compliance, and $500,000 funding opportunity for Stretch to Zero. Save the date for March 3rd, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. for our Municipal Summit, Building Decarbonization and Advancing Clean Energy Codes, where you will hear from 5 municipalities about their experience adopting and implementing New York Stretch. We will develop the geothermal workforce with Westchester County's Office of Economic Development, and we see that commercial building sector intersecting solutions such as clean heating and cooling, community solar, electric vehicles, and demand response will be more important than ever as we electrify everything. Next, we'll turn to our Director of Business Development, Michelle De La Fontaine.
Thank you, Rachel. In the Clean Transportation Program, we focused on public charging infrastructure to facilitate the adoption of EVs. We strongly believe the municipalities will be leading the way. In 2021, we partnered with the charging stations company to support Tuckahoe on project for 46 ports and a 4-port contract on a multi-family building in White Plains. When NYSERDA's Charge New York funding program was exhausted, we applied on behalf of municipalities to the DEC Zero Emission Vehicle 2021 program and helped secure more than $320,000 to support charging infrastructure for Yonkers and Pond Ridge. On technology and innovation, we are been working towards the construction of our Sunshine to EV model on our Mount Kisco headquarters, an integrated construct of solar, battery storage, and DC fast charge. We are also leading an exciting electric on-demand public transport design project in partnership with Westchester County, VIA, and the city of Peekskill. At the end of the last year, we won initial funding to support the development of an implementation plan that will be submitted later this year. In 2022, we will submit our phase 2 proposal for this program. And if the implementation is funded, this could be a model for expanding B-line services in part of the county where existing fixed route service does not fully meet the needs of residents, particularly in underserved areas. Many other municipalities have already expressed interest in this concept. We will continue to focus on public-facing charging station infrastructure hoping to benefit from the new incentives coming from the implementation of the infrastructure bill, which we'll learn the New York DOT will be in charge of. We also hope to replicate our Sunshine to EV headquarters project to create more DC fast charge hubs. And now, let me introduce the Zero Waste Director, Neha Danik. Thank you.
Thank you, Michelle. I will start by sharing this lesser known fact, and that is that 12% of New York State's greenhouse gas emissions are associated with the waste sector. So while we are making great strides in our climate goals through our work in the energy and transportation sector, it is also critical for us to move towards a zero waste future. Most of our local governments provide recycling services to their residents. However, some of this burden can be shifted onto the manufacturers instead. And New York State is among the several states that are gradually adopting policies called extended producer responsibility. New York has done that for e-waste and recently for paint cans. So the task that lies ahead for us is to bring all of that information to the residents. And we hope to do that through our program called Recycle Right Westchester, which is a web and a mobile technology platform, and it serves as a one-stop shop to get accurate and specific information about municipal, regional, as well as other relevant recycling and reuse options. This is also a highly cost-effective solution for our municipalities thanks to the shared service approach. We launched the Recycle Right program in 2018 with 9 municipalities. And since then, we have doubled the participation, reaching 18 municipalities today. The program covers over 100,000 households in Westchester and has immediately saved our municipalities thousands of dollars annually in the printing and mailing of brochures. The Recyclopedia feature within it has logged over 200,000 searches made by thousands of unique visitors who have looked up recycling instructions for things ranging from leaves to light bulbs to mattresses. We are very thankful to all the municipalities who have chosen to participate in this program. According to a recent industry survey, one of the biggest barriers to zero waste is the lack of clarity around recycling do's and don'ts. But here in Westchester, we hope to help reduce that barrier thanks to the continued support of all our member municipalities. Finally, our transition towards a clean energy future will not be complete unless we minimize our dependence on fossil fuels in every sector, including the landscaping sector. And I'm therefore excited to talk about this new initiative called Sustainable Landscaping, which we have developed with our 2 partners, American Green Zone Alliance, aka AGZA, and Quiet Communities. They are also joining us today and will be available to meet with you at the breakout sessions. Our partners have trained thousands of crew members in the landscaping industry and have helped them make a confident switch to cleaner, quieter, safer, and healthier practices using their data and research and a professional peer-to-peer knowledge transfer, understanding not only the electric platforms, but also the gas-powered tools that we are trying to substitute. In Westchester, where most municipalities have placed some limits on the gas-powered leaf blowers, providing our landscaping crews these opportunities to learn about electric tools as well as other alternatives will position them for success. One solution in our portfolio is creating an AGZA certified green zone, which can serve as a great demonstration site to showcase what sustainable landscaping really is. We began collaborating with AGZA over a year ago, and since then, the village of Larchmont, as well as the town of Rye, have established AGZA green zones at their respective municipal parks. The ribbon cutting ceremonies held last year were a clear proof of the concept, where all stakeholders work together to achieve a win-win for their community's better health and environment. We now hope to spread the word and are thrilled to have already received interest from so many of our municipalities to do green zones as well as workshops for professionals and homeowners. In the future, we also hope to facilitate trade-in programs where old and polluting gas-powered tools can be brought in exchange for new electric ones. So that brings us to the end of our program presentations, and I'd now like to welcome our board co-chairs, Sara Goddard and Jim Kuster, to conclude this meeting with their final remarks. Thank you.
Thank you, Neha, and thank you to all of the program heads for those very insightful and thorough presentations. This concludes now the Sustainable Westchester 2022 Annual Members Meeting. Thank you so much to everybody for joining us.